Hello everyone. We have discussed in the previous video that a rectifier rectifies the AC. That means it converts AC into DC. Now the problem with half wave rectifier was that it rectifies only the half cycle of the input AC. And problem with full wave rectifier is that though it converts both the half cycles of the AC into DC, but we get a pulsating voltage across output. Why? Because the value of the unidirectional current increases and decreases. So there are pulses or the ripples of AC which are removed by the filter circuits. So what are filter circuits? Filter circuits filter circuits remove the ripples or pulsating effect of the rectifier output, right? That means it removes or filters the AC ripples. Therefore, so it is called as a filter circuit. Right? So mainly two types of filter circuits are there in your course. First is the shunt capacitance filter. Second is the series inductor filter. And third is, which we will not discuss here in detail, pi filter having two capacitors and one inductor. Right? So we have to take this in detail first. So first is your shunt capacitor. Here what is done is that a parallel capacitor is connected across the load resistance in the output of the full wave rectifier. So what is done here? A parallel capacitor is connected with the load resistance across the full wave rectifier output. Right? So we'll discuss this in detail. Let's look at the diagram first. So here in your NCERT, a simplified version of the diagram is given, which we are discussing here. This is the full wave rectifier which is given in the box. So a symbolic box representation for full wave rectifier is given here. This is the input. This is full wave rectifier. And its output is here, and across its output a capacitor is connected in parallel with the load resistance, and here the output is taken. So let's understand its working. So what happens is, if this voltage across the output, if we consider this as V1 and if we consider this as Vc, we can say if V1 is greater than Vc, then charging occurs, charging of the capacitor occurs. And if V1 is less than Vc, then discharging of capacitor occurs, right? And we know that the formula for the capacitive reactance is 1 by omega c, right? And omega is what? 2 pi nu. So this is the formula for Xc. Now for DC, how much is the frequency? Frequency is 0. Therefore Xc is how much? Infinity, because 1 upon 0 is infinity. So you can say that a capacitor blocks DC, right? And we know that for AC it will have some finite value of Xc, depending on the value of frequency, right? So you can say that it allows AC to flow through it, but it blocks DC. So what will happen is that here only AC, this is for understanding, so I'm just mentioning here only AC. So remaining part, that is DC, will flow through this and it will flow across the load resistance. So you can say AC will pass through the capacitor and remaining DC will flow through the other path, the only path which remains. So you can say through capacitor and DC follows the other path, right? Now there is one more concept here, the concept of time constant. You must have studied this earlier in chapter 2. Time constant of a capacitor is the time in which it charges to 63.2% of the maximum value. Or the time in which it is discharged to. (36.8%) of maximum value, right? One more important thing here is this time constant is the product of R and C, and here in this case this will be RL into C because it is across load resistance. So that means if high time constant value is there, then it will take more time to charge 63.2% of maximum, or more time to discharge to 36.8% of maximum value. So what does that mean? The time will stretch, so near about constant value of voltage will be there for a longer time, and that is very near to the peak value of output which is obtained across the output of the full wave rectifier. This will be clear with this diagram. Here one more thing to mention. So high value capacitors are preferred. So first we'll just check the output of the full wave rectifier circuit. So this is actually the time. Now what happens is, during this charging, during this half cycle of the AC, so it charges from 0 to maximum value and then it discharges, and then in the next half cycle it again charges in the opposite direction to maximum, and then it again discharges. So it again charges and then discharges. So what we are getting here is so we are actually getting this. So this is near about the peak value of the output of the full wave rectifiers. So this gives us nearly constant value. Otherwise, what was the output? The output of the full wave rectifier was this was the output of the full wave rectifier. So we are actually getting this output from the capacitance circuit, because this time is stretched and this time this is the voltage, the peak value of the capacitor voltage is this much, which is very near to the peak value of the full wave rectifier, right? So this was about shunt capacitor. We'll discuss the series inductance filter now. So what is the diagram here? Very similar to the previous one. This is full wave rectifier. This is the input. This is the output where the inductor is connected like this. This is RL and the output is taken across this. The formula for the inductive reactance is omega L. So if DC is there, then frequency is equal to 0 for DC. Therefore, XL is equal to 0. So you can say that inductor allows DC, right? And it has, or you can say XL has finite value for AC depending on frequency, right? So it gives opposition to AC. So that's why what happens is that DC is allowed here and it passes through the load resistance and output is having DC in its output. So this was all about the filter circuits. I hope you understood the concept. That's all for now. Have a nice day.